Hello, this is Josh Belk with the Belk on Business podcast. Today we're going to pick up where we left off last week. Last week we began speaking to really a different type of a KPI. Normally when we think of KPIs, we think of key performance indicators in our business. And last week we began talking about key purpose indicators or key people indicators. So instead of kind of focusing maybe on certain metrics as it relates maybe to our financials or maybe to our lead generation processes, beginning to look a little bit internally as to our employees, to our people last week. And then today we're going to transition just a little bit and talk about key purpose indicators or key people indicators as it relates to third parties. When I speak about talk about third parties, I'm referring to contractors that we may work with or vendors or even consultants that may come in and work in our business. And I sit in my main business, which is an accounting firm. I sit in the seat of many times just being a consultant. And we're generally not contracted out to do work. Generally, we are hired to advise. We are hired to maybe provide some sort of a deliverable, such as a tax return or maybe financial statements. But so most of the time, I'm sitting in the seat of being a consultant, being a vendor to another business. And last week we talked about employees. I have employees. You may have employees in your business. And how do we get that feedback? So when we talk about key purpose or key people indicators, what we're really trying to find out is in today's episode, finding out whether or not our actions align with our shared values and what we desire culturally for our business. And this can be done internally with our employees, and then taking a step beyond. Are we operating within our core values? Are we operating within our culture as it relates to those that help us and come beside us and align with us in our businesses? And in our business, and as a consultant and sitting in that seat, I really like to think of myself coming beside one of our clients and us trying to reach a similar type of goal. I want them to try to reach their goals, and I want to be there to try to help them reach their goals. And likewise, I think if I'm able to help them get where they want in their business, that I will get to where I want to get in my business as well. And as we spoke to last week, this can be done many times with surveys. We may provide a survey anonymously to our employees, meaning that they can complete it and then get it back to us. Maybe this can be done electronically or just simply checking the box on a scale of 1 to 10, how we're doing in certain areas. And this can be done with third parties as well. So we can provide this survey, and this, of course, nowadays with email, this can be done rather simply. We can send the survey out. It can come back to us. We don't even know who it came back from. But really can kind of help maybe provide some questions that the third party can answer to really find out how well are we doing in our relationship with our third parties, with our vendors, with our consultants, with our contractors. And like I said, this can be done on a survey. It can be on a scale of 1 to 10. How are we doing in these particular areas? And so I have just a few questions. 7. I think last week we had 9 or 10, but 7 questions as it relates to questions we can ask to find out whether or not we're doing what we're supposed to do and whether our actions align with our core values, with what we desire culturally for our company. So first of all, do we provide what you ask from us, including appropriate payment? So anytime there's a relationship there, of course, they're wanting payment from us for our services, but many times they need things from us as well. As a consultant, many times when working with clients and we ask them for things and we don't receive them, and sometimes it can get frustrating. They come back and say, well, you didn't provide us in the timeline that you were hoping, that we were hoping to get the deliverable from you. And so sometimes I have to go back to the client and say, well, we didn't get what we needed from you in a timely manner. And I don't want to be that person that's not getting to the person that I'm really needing to help us, getting them what they need to be able to do to provide the service or to get to us the product that we have requested from them. So not only are we getting the information to them that they need, but also are we paying our bills timely and are we providing payment in the way that they have requested. There is a scriptural principle that a man is worthy of his hire. And I think when we go through and we contract with someone and we ask something from them, that we ought to have enough integrity to pay them in a way that they're preferring to be paid. So number one, do we provide what you asked from us, including appropriate payment? Secondly, how well did we keep the deadlines? So if we're on some sort of a schedule, we need X, Y, Z by this date. Are we following that schedule? Are we providing you what you need in the timeline that you need it from us? Thirdly, did we do whatever extra was required? Sometimes they'll come to us and say, we need a little bit more information. I know this was maybe a little bit outside the scope of the relationship, but are you able to provide us this information? I think it will help us be able to provide you a better service or be able to provide you a better product. So we kind of understand that we're paying them, so we should have these expectations. But if we want to have a good culture, if we want to have good, strong values, if they're asking something extra from us, doing whatever we can to provide whatever it is that they asked from us to them. Number 4, when you needed us, how easy was it for you to get to the person that you needed to? When they reach out to us, and it may be the business owner, it may be somebody on our team, but they're needing some information. Is it difficult for them to get to the person that they need to talk to, or is it easy for them? Do they have the appropriate contact information that they need? They have the people on point that they need to get the information that they need. So when you needed us, how easy was it for you to get to the person that you needed to get in contact with? Number 5, how well did we handle unexpected changes? Of course, changes happen all the time. The unexpected happens, and so when there was a change, when there was an issue, how well did we handle it? Number 6, how well were you kept apprised of the processes? So every business kind of has internal processes that they require. Maybe it's a process as far as getting the information coming back and forth. Maybe it's the payment process, whatever it is. How well did we keep you apprised of whatever our internal process was? And then lastly, number 7, how likely are you to recommend us to others? And I really think, of course, we many times will go to our clients and we may ask them for referrals. If you really thought that we brought you value, that we went above and beyond what you wanted, what you asked or what you expected from us, would you recommend us to others? Well, the same thing can be true here. I know as in my business that there are times I need to be able to network with third parties to be able to beyond just the third parties I directly work with. So I may go to a consultant or a vendor, a service provider, and I say, I need some help that's a little bit outside the scope of whatever we do, but do you have somebody in your network that you think would love to work with us that we could work together? And of course, that's part of growing your network. And if you have a really bad reputation of not paying your bills, making it difficult, making the communication process difficult, they can't get a hold of who they need to, then all of a sudden we need something from them. They're going to say, there's no way in the world I'm going to recommend you to this other service provider because you don't pay your bills on time. You're difficult to work with, whatever the case may be. And so to make sure that whatever we do, our relationships, not only with our employees, but also with these third parties, whatever our actions are, that they align with our values and also with the culture that we desire for our company. I appreciate you taking a moment to listen today, and hopefully this was of some help to you. Would encourage you, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Belk on Business podcast. Have a wonderful day.